Hello, Geminis. Welcome in. So we are doing your monthly tarot reading for August. So this is for the general collective of Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus Geminis. Or you may be a cross watcher here. So this, we're kind of tapping in to see any general information guidance for you for the month of August. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You might want to check out your other sign videos as well. Those might resonate more, but you can take a look. But as I say, if you are here, there is a reason that you were brought to this video. So definitely watch to the end and see what it is that you needed to hear. So I'm going to be pulling, I got the Sacred Traveler Oracle to kind of get some general baselines of August, the energies, and then I am doing something a little different. I'm going to clarify those with the Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck here, and then we'll get into the tarot. And for you, Gemini, I was feeling intuitively guided to this Good Tarot deck here. So that is what we're going to do. I always pick the decks intuitively for each sign. And these are upside down. So I've been kind of starting off with a little intro around the last couple months here. So, you know, from January through June, you know, it was kind of like this pressure cooker or this slow buildup of energies that were really, you know, triggering us. We were feeling a lot of emotions coming up, maybe anxieties, but what it was really doing is showing you the areas of your life that aren't in alignment anymore with where you need to go. It may be also where you're not being authentic and where life isn't in alignment with, again, who you really are at this point in time. You know, a lot of humans, you know, we end up getting into life or certain, you know, situations, work, relationships, or just ways of living that, again, we were programmed with. So as children, right, we're always taught, okay, our perception of the world through our families, our parents, guardians, and whatever other factors are at play in that really mold who we are. So, you know, those other factors can be like ethnicities, you know, religions, you know, with genders, where we live in the world, our societies, our cultures, you know, and the media, our friends. So we're always gaining these insights, but a lot of us tend to, we've seen that when we're born, we authentically know who we are. We are in alignment with our true selves. We express ourselves in the moment. If we have feelings about something, whether they're good and bad, we express them. We know what we like, we know what we don't like. And then we are, you know, interrupted again by the external world telling us either that's wrong, or this is right, or this is what you should like, or this is how you should live your life, you know. And they push us to become, you know, people that maybe isn't in true alignment with us. And you can live for years and years and years like that, especially as adults. And, you know, we can kind of use our inner compass, which we lose as well, because our intuition there is as our inner compass. And for one thing, if you are not feeling fulfilled, if you're just feeling like, I just don't feel good in my life right now, that's because we're not really living our life based on our authentic selves. If we're not happy in relationships, that usually is as well. So again, the buildup of the last 6 months has really been forcing us to look at those things that aren't working for us. And maybe there's things that we were okay with or tolerated for a long time. Finally, leading up to June, it was like, we can't be in denial about these anymore. We can't keep lying to ourselves, or things are just reaching to that point. And July was really that trigger point of like taking action on those things, whether it's, you know, communicating how we're feeling, speaking our truths, initiating change, stepping onto new paths, you know, just doing things, finally pushing us to the point of taking action on those. If that hasn't happened for you in July, it probably is going to happen in August. That's what I'm seeing. For those of us that really started to initiate that change last month, you know, August is going to bring about more clarity about where we're going and kind of tying up those loose ends. So let's get going. I had a lot to say, but I think that really is something that's important that people should, you know, again, give some perspective on what you're feeling or what you're going through as a collective as well. I mean, everyone I'm talking to has been feeling the same way, and the readings are definitely supporting that as well. So let's see what August brings for you, Taurus, or sorry, Gemini. I just did the Taurus reading. I'm getting all confused here. So, embracing enthusiasm, shout to the heavens with happiness. For some reason, I really felt like this was a Gemini card when I pulled it, like this embracing enthusiasm, like there's this aspect, almost like I see her saying something, like communication, which is very Gemini, connecting, socializing with people. That's like, when Geminis are in alignment with their true selves, you know, those real, true, positive aspects of Gemini are really going to come out of you. On the other hand, like if you are kind of lean more towards the negative aspects of Gemini, you know, they're going to be the opposite, which kind of gives you a sign of maybe you're not in alignment with your true self. And that can come out with Geminis as being antisocial, not having good communication, or not feeling like you have confidence in your voice, have confidence in what you have to say, or your feelings especially. Geminis are an air sign, so I do see that emotions with Geminis tend to be an area that you don't feel as confident in, but that's going to be an area that you should really focus on, because that's why you came into this life with that sign as your sun sign. Again, the sun sign is really how you represent yourself to the external world. And maybe like check your moon sign, because the moon sign is going to be what's really deep down your true self and how you really are. And if you look at your sun sign, it's going to give you some insight about what are those aspects of your personality that maybe you don't feel as confident expressing to the world or showing up as. So, you know, this card is almost telling me to embrace all aspects of yourself and being aware of, especially noticing where maybe you lean towards the negative aspects of your sign because of, you know, there's so many reasons. It can be about how you were raised, you know, traumas, you know, maybe maybe you were a great communicator and you did always express your feelings when you were little, but your family or your parents always really almost like you got disciplined every time you expressed your feelings. And it's almost like, you know, they didn't want to hear what you had to say. They didn't want to hear how you felt. And that can be a very, you know, more of authoritarian parenting style, which we end up suppressing our true self. And I think this is a time for you to connect back to who am I really? What is my happiness? What is my bliss? And being more enthusiastic about life and opening yourself up to change. We have faraway places. Get ready for newer horizons. Okay, there's somewhere you have to be Gemini. This could be, you know, I'm feeling like this is location as well. Maybe you have an opportunity to travel somewhere far away. Uncovering treasure. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. So this is also opening yourself up to new opportunities, opening yourself up to doing maybe things that you haven't done before, or maybe have been hesitant to do, because I do feel like you're being called, like there's some divine destined place that you're meant to travel to or go, and it's really going to open up some energetic portal within you or connection that's really going to be a treasure for you. Like, I almost don't see this as like a physical treasure, but I do feel like it almost unblocks some stuck energy for you that really is going to be a huge opportunity for you moving forward in your life to help you kind of open up maybe abundance and love and a great bounty, like this says. And I don't think you see it, right? You're not going to see it right off the bat, but it's going to happen slowly, or when you get to a certain place or location. It could also resonate like from a alternate life that your consciousness is having, that you have a strong connection to. And that as well is going to create some sort of connection and opening that you weren't aware of before. So this is interesting. August has been a huge month I almost want to say 75% of the readings I've done have been talking about like travel or movement or moving. Like that has been a big theme for August. So let's pull some of the Lenormand cards. So we have the Coffin with Embracing Enthusiasm, the Child with Faraway Places, and then we have the kind of the magnifying glass, if you will. So there is some sort of transformation that is happening for you that's really deep and profound, that is helping you again to become more aware of yourself, aware of your like positive and negatives, and transforming you as well to connect more to things that make you happy. It's almost like following your bliss. It's like this shift in perspective. And this is going to be almost like a death and rebirth for you. I think there is almost like this death of the old self that needs to happen, because there's almost like the real you've had suppressed or really pushed down for most of your life. And it's like rebirthing into a new you, which then, you know, manifests out in your external world. Like when you are expressing that you, that's really in alignment with your true self, the external world, then all it can do, which is the universal law, is to align with you. I feel like, you know, in your life, you've maybe had a lot of resistance to things, resistance to change, resistant to new things, and really stuck in patterns or beliefs and ideas about who you are and how you should show up in the world. And definitely August and kind of leading into August, again, there's something that really needs to change big time for you. And this could be like an ending and a new beginning for something that really is the only thing that can really almost kick you in the butt to initiate change. Faraway places here with the Child card. So again, this could be something that you dreamed about. Maybe it's only been more in like movies and shows, and something that seems way outside of your realm of possibilities, and something you could only imagine. Again, it's something about imagination here, and you actually have an opportunity to do this. And I definitely feel like you should take up that opportunity. You know, in this card too, it's very Asian inspired, or somewhere in Asia. So it could be somewhere in Asia that you have to go. And it's like opening yourself up to the possibilities that maybe you never envisioned yourself, doing. And then the uncovering treasure here with this compass. I think this is, I'm going to read this card for you. It's the 44 card. So there could be something with that number for you. That kind of caught my eye. Is this the last? Yeah, this is the last card in the Lenormand deck. It is the magnifying glass here. I'm the card that suggests to you to take a closer look, or two. If you did not get clarity from an earlier view, I can provide more focus and perspective that is new. This card suggests you need to take a closer look at a current issue. Now is the time for you to focus, scrutinize, and analyze. You might be overlooking something that isn't apparent to you. The smallest details may be vitally important. So use this to help you investigate and uncover more information that could lead you to greater clarity. So it says here that the card to the left is what seems, in the reading, the card to the left is what it seems like before taking a closer look. This card can also be a warning that all is not what it appears to be. Be careful to understand, again, the fine print or the details in a situation. In the realm of emotional issues, the magnifying glass suggests a preoccupation. You may be focusing on something too much. Your obsessive thinking might be what's obscuring your clarity. If you have a situation, if you're dealing with some sort of financial situation, this can also suggest a financial audit or a legal investigation. It may mean that you need to look a little deeper in regards to your finances or money situation. That might be for some of you. Again, going back to what I'm seeing with the other cards, it does appear to be more of an emotional situation. Or like I said, this is about really taking a closer look at you, becoming more aware of yourself, your patterns, your beliefs. If you tend to have some sort of obsessive focus on something, why? And looking at more of the root of why is there this obsessive focus? And it could be, again, going back to your beliefs from childhood about how you need to show up in the world, or what are the things that need to be a focus or priority that maybe you were pushed into you as a child. And these are the things that are really almost blocking you from your ability to find happiness, joy, love, abundance. And I do feel like as you look deeper at the self, or look deeper at how you really feel, that is where you're going to uncover the treasure or the bounty that is going to help you do this huge transformation. And that's where you can finally align with what you really want. Because I do feel like if you really looked at your true heart of heart, it's telling you something about what you really want and what's a priority. But I feel like in your mind, going back to your programming and your beliefs, I feel like you tend to focus on things that you think are going to bring you happiness, or you think are, it could be too that like you don't feel safe in certain areas of your life. And it's, again, that can go back to beliefs. So you tend to overtly focus obsessively on them. And it's because you've never felt safe. And that could be, again, tied to your parents, your childhood, or just maybe you had some sort of trauma around, if it's something about like money or stability, you could obsess over how much money you have and like building more, wealth, or like a very prioritizing focus on your stability in regards to, money, or what your life looks like. And again, that's usually tied to a lack mentality. You don't feel safe. You don't feel like there's enough resources. And you feel like you have to independently build this stability because you can't trust the world, you can't trust the people around you to support you. So something to look back at is, again, looking deeply, maybe at your childhood, or deeply at how did your parents, what was their relationship with money or wealth? And this could go back generations, you know, how, if it's not money or finances, okay, what is it about emotions? Maybe it's more emotional. Where is it that I can look deeply at my emotions, that I've been pushing my emotions down, where I'm not good at expressing my emotions, or I don't feel comfortable giving space to other people's emotions? And really, that's going to be a huge block in love, in your connections. So there is something that you have to really look deeply into about yourself. And August is going to give you the opportunity for that. So let's dive into the tarot. That was a lot. That was a long intro in regards to the Oracle card. But I feel like, Gemini, there's a lot here with just these cards. Like, I really feel like that could just be the reading. These cards are really big, these good tarot cards, but we're going to work with it here. So what's unfolding for you here? We got the Three of Water, which is the Three of Cups. The Moon. The Call, which is the Judgment card. Eight of Pentacles. Ace of Fire, which is the Ace of Wands. The Page of Air, which is the Page of Swords. And the Six of Cups. And the Knight of Cups. And I'm going to pull this Queen of Pentacles. Wow, there's a lot here. Tower, and then Temperance, High Priestess. That's a lot, but this is a really good story here unfolding. So I definitely feel like there is some sort of third, so the Three of Cups can refer to like a third party. And usually when this comes up, it doesn't have to do with like we think of third parties as like some sort of like a love triangle or something. But really what a third party is, when I get the Three of Cups, especially with the Moon, there's something that's blocking you. Okay, so there's this third aspect that's blocking you in some area of your life. And it is really unconscious. This really goes deep. And this is where you have to really go deep with this magnifying glass, to go deep into your unconscious, go deep into your emotions, in your heart, because you, I feel like, have been suppressing this, whatever this is that's hidden. And what it is, it shows up in your life as a block. And this could be, for example, if you constantly have a pattern in relationships, and it could be that maybe, again, there always seems to be maybe like this wall that you can't get through in your relationships. There's always this block. There's not this free-flowing energy of being able to openly be vulnerable and give love, be emotionally open to other people, and also being emotionally open to receive love back from others. So that's going to be that third cup. And this is something that is really repressed. And it's usually based because we have such deep repressed emotions, and also fear. There could be a lot of fear around being vulnerable, being afraid of really expressing our true selves and expressing how we really feel. That can be tied to like abandonment issues, or just, again, like maybe you've had a lot of heartbreak in the past, so it's like a protection mechanism. So that's one example. It may resonate for you. I mean, it can show up in other areas of your life. Maybe you always feel like no matter how hard you work, you can never, again, bring in more abundance into your life. And you tend to always manifest things or people that don't bring abundance to you or support you. and that you always have to work so hard to just meet the bare minimum in your life. So that could be another situation. I'm kind of using the two scenarios of love or maybe abundance in this reading for you. So I think that's going to fit for half and half of you or more. But I feel like you're going to get to a crossroads here, the judgment, the call here. It's almost finally like the universe is like, you have to face this. Like, you can't not face this anymore. I feel like you're very good at being in denial about these issues because these are really repressed. And you've kind of been like, oh no, like, I don't have issues. Like, maybe you always say, you know, blame it on everyone, someone else. Like, you always think, well, it's everyone else's problem. It's not my problem. And what I'm doing is justified. And you know, I have good reason to do what I'm doing or to be the person I am. But I do feel like there is some deep repressed stuff that finally the universe is like, okay, it's judgment day. Like, that's a crossroads. Like, you have to make some new decisions about yourself, or, you know, you're going to keep continuing to manifest the same sort of patterns, the same sort of struggles and hardships. But again, they're giving you a huge opportunity here, the universe, to shift and change and to bring into your life things that where it actually is going to align with you, and you can really focus on your happiness, and things are going to just become easier for you. For a lot of you too, this Eight of Pentacles, it could be about, again, money, work, a new way of approaching work, a new way of creating a new relationship with money, or it can be just referring to you actually finally doing the inner work to overcome these internal blocks that, again, have been really stopping you from truly having, you know, if it's really a relationship and love you really want, you know, you have to do the inner work for your relationships to be successful, or to bring in somebody that's actually, you know, again, you can maintain a stable, successful relationship here. I do feel like you are going to get with the Ace of Wands. I think you are going to get this. It's kind of like a fire lit under your butt from the universe. Like, you're going to get the inspiration, the motivation to really want to kind of change and do things differently. Something's really going to inspire you as well. You could be creative and doing things a new way, but something's really going to come along that's new, that's fresh. Again, you're feeling a new way of seeing things, new ideas. And with this Page of Swords, I do feel like this is around communication as well. Like, you're going to have an opportunity to maybe communicate with somebody, or a message is going to come in. And it's, again, to me, it's an opportunity for you to also respond differently, to maybe finally speak your truth, finally speaking how you really feel. And this is going to be really healing for you. The Six of Cups is also about the past. So you may be able to have an opportunity with, there's a Knight of Cups here. So this could be reconciling the past with somebody, talking about what happened in the past. And maybe this is you or somebody else who's offering a new lease on love. You're offering some sort of reconciliation about the past and trying to move forward in a new way. But the key here is, so this Knight of Water is almost like offering the Knight of Pentacles an opportunity of love, or an offer of love. There is a Tower here with the Patience card and the High Priestess. So if you are dealing with someone who, if what I was saying isn't more you, but it's the other person, but I do feel like this has a lot to do with just self-examination, Gemini. The Tower could be something that's really like a change out of the blue. A big change happens that maybe you weren't expecting. I do feel like the guidance here is to just have patience and trust that it's all going to work out. because I do feel like the High Priestess here, you already know in your heart of hearts what you want and what's right for you and what you really want. And I think that's part of the examination of what is it that you really want, okay? Not what your head, your logic tells you, but what is in your heart of hearts. Like if you could have it your way and remove all fear and everything was going to work out, what is it that you really want? And it comes down to your heart, okay? And two, if this is, you know, somebody offering love to you, I think it's going to be down to, have you changed or has this person changed? Can you reconcile? I do feel like this person, there's some sort of reconciliation here. It could be someone from your past or someone who you've had a long past with. And it's almost like you're both looking forward. I like this. Like both these two cards are looking to the future. So you're both on the same page about that. Like there's not one person still stuck in the past. I think both of you are ready to let go of the past and move forward. But is that going to be together? I think that all depends on some factors here. And again, it's this analysis of we need to get out of our patterns and we need to approach things in a new way. And I think the only way that's going to work is to are both of you doing the work? And the work is going to be individually. Are you doing the work on yourself to identify the things that have been blocking you, that are really deeply repressed? What is it, all these fearful emotions or these deep feelings that could be back to your childhood that you haven't really integrated or healed or maybe faced? And you got to do the work. And you're going to be forced to. This is what the Judgment card and the Eight of Pentacles. You're going to be forced to do it one way or the other. So do you want to do it the easy way or the hard way, I feel? And you kind of have to surrender to the universe and just trust, because the universe is blowing up anything that has been blocking you. Like that is one thing that's going to be for certain. So the Tower is going to come in August to clear away anything that's not working for you. But you kind of just have to go with the flow and allow the Tower to happen. And you can either resist it and fight it, and it's going to be a lot harder, or you're going to actually listen to the energy of the universe and say, okay, I'm willing to do the work finally here. So, man, these cards for you, Gemini. Let me pull some quick. This is probably going to turn into a long reading here. Let me pull a couple cards for what's going on externally. This is kind of what's unconsciously going on. So we have the Six of Pentacles, the Star. Definitely time for healing. Four of Wands. So there's definitely an imbalance in your life. There's this imbalance of give and take in your connections. So whether it's you overly give and don't get much back, or do you, it's kind of like this breadcrumbing, or do you breadcrumb the people in your life and expect them to do the most, but you have excuses of why you can't show up fully, and those again tie back to these blocks. Because when so you have the Two of Cups and then you have the Three of Cups, right? But the Two of Cups is when on the normal card is two people offering their cup to each other. So that is the ideal state of a happy, harmonious, successful relationship, is when you have a full cup in yourself to give to the other, and you give without expecting back, and the other person is able to receive your cup and also give. So there's this almost like, that's the natural state of energy, is the energy like almost like the eternity sign. It is an eternal loop of going out and coming in and going out and coming in, and there's a flow to that, right? There's a natural energetic flow. It's only when all of a sudden you add this third aspect that it kind of blocks the natural flow, and there's where resistance come in, conflict, chaos, and that's where one or both of you there creates an imbalance, and that's where it's not working. And that's where someone is like, this doesn't feel good. And there's something here you have to heal around this, because usually why that's happening is tied to this Three of Cups and this Moon card. There's some emotional blocks in your heart chakra that don't allow you to either give love, or you're resistant to receiving love from others. And it definitely has blocked you from obtaining this Four of Wands, which is like the ultimate state of balance and abundance, and create a home and hearth that's stable, loving, and aligned with something that's really fulfilling for you. It could be too that your ultimate wish is tied to this, and that's where we need to examine what it is that our heart really wants. And I do feel like the Star card is that. It's like, what is your true wish? What is your ultimate wish? And I do feel like it has something to do with house, home, and like a family and love. Again, this is not Pentacles, right? This is not just my ultimate wish is just money, right? It's the Four of Wands. So I'm going to get a clarifier quick for the Four of Wands, so that we have the Queen of Fire. So your wish is tied to somebody here. I do feel like this has to do with love and creating a life with someone. You might already know who this is. This could be you also, for some of you. That could represent you just aligning again with your true self and really manifesting in like your heart's desires. And I feel like if you can find the alignment and find where you are blocked and do the inner work, that's where you can truly align, and there's nothing blocking you anymore. And all of a sudden, all of your wishes start manifesting in your reality. So what's the piece of, I'm just going to grab one more card, Gemini. What's the guidance in regards to this Three of Cups and Moon? What is it that you need to really be aware of or do to help you to unblock and open yourself up here? Yeah, Hanged Man, definitely. This is all a distorted perspective. So you're really, first and foremost, I do feel like you don't see these aspects of yourself or these beliefs or these programs that are still unconsciously at the forefront, basically controlling your reactions, controlling how you show up in the world, how you prioritize things, going back to the obsessive comment, like what are you obsessively focused on? And that's a sign of the Hanged Man, of being stuck, and it's keeping you stuck. You're stuck in this loop, and it's finally time for you to identify, like, how do I get out of this pattern? How do I get out of this loop? How do I bring in more abundance? How do I align and create a successful relationship? And the Page of Fire. Yeah, it's like new ideas. It's like having new ideas, approaching things new, being more curious with yourself and also the external world. It's about changing our habits, our reactions, how we show up in the world slowly, right? This is a page. The page is like the apprentice. They're learning how to do things. They're not the expert yet, and that's okay. I think you need to be, gentle with yourself. Don't shame yourself or feel guilty. This is about you being curious with yourself, supporting and loving and nurturing yourself as you identify and connect with those deeper repressed, maybe it's the inner child, maybe it's deep hurt that you've really pushed down, that you're now finally trying to actually feel and process through. And that's really this page energy. And I think that's really commendable to do that. And it's like, I think in August, this is a lot. And I do feel like August is going to be pretty big and a lot, but I think you just need to take care of yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself or others. If this is someone else in your life too, I think just, if you can support them, great. If this is someone that you just are like, I can't, you know, going back to judgment, of that crossroads of like, I can't keep living like this. I can't, you know, this isn't balanced. This isn't the type of relationship I want to be in. You know, again, this is something where everyone's processing how they need to move forward and align more with something that's right for them. But the first thing to do that is really doing the internal work. So that's the theme of your August, doing the internal work. It doesn't sound that fun, but I think, again, it's really going to be huge for you moving forward and bringing in some amazing things after this. I mean, that's the key here. You're making room energetically to bring in more abundance, love, happiness. So, all right, Geminis, I'm going to close it up, this long reading. Yeah, I think we're around 40 minutes here. So sorry about the long reading. Have a good August, and I will see you in the next reading.